Fovius gold lane. Ruby Robe, Terizla XP, Novaria mid, right? Yeah. So Fovius gold. Unless they pull a crazy swap again, but that's gonna be the Tigreal. It's an amazing answer to the Julian, to any assassin. So there you have it. It's actually in the mid lane. It's gold lane Ruby. It's Roam Terizla again.
Roam Terizla?
I believe so. No, it's Roam Novaria and
Okay.
mid lane Fovius. Okay, so
XP Terizla.
there you
Okay.
go. So it's Roam Novaria.
Okay. Well, we've seen the Novaria work in the Roam like way back when. Is it still a viable option in this meta?
I personally am not a fan, but hey, I can see it work. I can still see it work. The vision gets you a lot of prio.
What about you, casters? Do you think that this can work?
I don't know.
What I will say is this, since LaFell seems to...
No, I mean, like, legit, if she asked me, like, will it work? And I'm like, I don't know. Good.
We've seen a lot of things so far in MWI. We've seen a lot of things, and we've seen a lot of those things work. We've seen a lot of them,
Here's the thing, man. With the right mindset, all of it works.
You can do anything.
Novaria jungle, it's not even a question. The answer is just yes. But with that being said, we're jumping into this game. And yeah, looking at the composition here, coming in from Net Angels, it's really all about fighting, man. Like 1, 2, 3. Like, they got 3, 4 fighters here. They only have a Novaria to provide them the support. So I'm really looking at Net Angels. Second turtle, man. Second turtle, that's where they want to pop off.
Ooh, already a lot of damage on to Vanilla there. Brought down to about 10%. Might have to go home. Yeah, gonna have to go home for that one. Team Falcons Vega already shown some aggression, and I think when it comes in term of mid lane, Funi and Thal are gonna have some rotation advantages. Ku, Cassie, you're gonna have a little bit of trouble. We did see, we saw the Fovius back in MSC, and it did perform well against the right compositions. There are a lot of dashes here. As long as Cassie can get through this early game, get through this laning phase without taking any deaths, be able to get some farm in, there are definitely some possibilities for it.
Let me just say, this is already like not great for Net Angels, because if you look at the draft, everything has priority, but they're not really having priority at this point because the Hayabusa is farming a little bit better compared to the Julian. Because again, look, you got fighters everywhere. You should be winning the lane, but it's not happening so far. So that power spike is not being used all that well just yet.
Ooh, Cassie already taking some damage. Should be okay. Now, what I will say for Net Angels composition here, because it's all these fighters, you're going to have kind of this box around Ku here. Ku needs to be careful how far back she actually goes, because it's going to be the perfect target for melee. And if everyone else is diving forward and Ku's just sitting in the backside waiting to line up that meteor shot, Maylane's going to have the perfect target to lock on. Also, another big thing that Net Angels need to watch out for when they do that big engage is the reaction from Thal and the reaction from Violet. You get caught by one bad implosion or one bad final slash, you're a little too grouped up, it could definitely spell death. But Thal already pushing away Halang there. Vanilla keeping a good position in front of this turtle, but Melee already gets first blood. Down goes Helene. Violet now trying to lock up. The implosion does lock onto Vanilla here. Vanilla not going to be able to even fight for this. At this point, they're just trying to get away, but no, Helene gets a nice enhanced chains, able to back off. Melee able to get the turtle. Penalty zone does lock in. Thal, Violet, Funi there as well, trying to lock onto Cassie. Demonic Force does proc, but Cassie as well just wants to get away. Ku looks for the meteor, isn't able to get the final hit on.
Hey, good job on play by playing that one, because a lot was going on around the map. Like, it was very messy coming in, especially for Net Angels, where honestly this is the kind of draft where you almost just shut your brain off, you see someone and then you go for a fight. But looks like Team Falcons Vega, they roughly understand how to play with this kind of composition, because they just focus on one target, let possibly Melee to just get an advantage, get the kill, and now she has honestly, like, the Hayabusa having more farm and one kill here, it's not going to look good for Net Angels.
Sakoshi looks for Thal there. Zamon's Force does drop. The implosion locks on, and Sakoshi might not be able to get away from this one. Jinja gonna be able to lock on, get one more synchro fission down, and gets the kill. Thal escapes with just a sliver of health. And this is something I'm a little worried about with Net Angels not having a marksman, right? Where does the damage come from? Is it gonna be Cassie? Is it Vanilla? Is it Ku? How do they even, like, when do they hit their power spike? When do they actually get online here?
Honestly, it's going to be all on Vanilla. It really depends where the Vanilla wants to go for... Oh, hold on.
Nice knock up. Hands change, does lock on, and in comes Cassie with the Demonic Force. Not able to get another proc chin shot, able to just get away.
And again, going back to Vanilla, it really depends on her itemization. If he goes for a Genius 1, then pretty early on that you can go for those fights. But if Vanilla, and I kind of want to suggest it, go for a Holy Crystal, you're going to be the main damage dealer for this one. And your scaling is going to be a little bit much better because you're going to control the third turtle onwards.
I think it's very fair, and I think there's a lot of possibilities. There is one good thing about Net Angels, they do have some CC here. And when they do get into the late game, Ku could become a problem, and Ku's staying safe at this point of time. We're seeing some of those snipe shots lock on. The damage isn't quite enough to get the finishing blow in. And even Sakoshi on the Ruby, we've seen Rubies actually start to pack a punch when the game gets going. So we'll see the possibilities. Team Falcons Vega don't want to just give up this second turtle so easily. Melee able to just come in, steal it with ease, but look at the implosion, look at the Demonic Force, the damage unloading on both teams. Vanilla is the first to drop, and now the Demonic Force continues to unload. Melee still fighting though, somehow pulls out safe with the triple kill, but Cassie doesn't let him go away freely. It's a 3-for-3 turtle over to Team Falcons Vega though.
I mean, here's the thing that I said. Is the second turtle. This kind of lineup, you're waiting for the second turtle for you to really fight this one. If they were able to secure it, then it would have been much, much better. You can see how Thal, honestly, should have turned things around with that amazing implosion, but because this is a lineup that has a lot of ways to defend themselves, they don't really rely on someone else to give them the protection, makes it so that even if they get caught, it's still fine, as long as you have at least one item, which we saw Cassie got a little bit later. But again, now Cassie having that Clock of Destiny makes it so that Team Falcons Vega now will have a difficult time to get down Cassie. Looks like Vanilla is going for that Genius 1 route, so the damage is going to be there a little bit earlier. It's just that the burst isn't going to be there when you're starting fight around the board.
The fact that Cassie's now 2-0-1, could become, I mean, that could end up being one of their major damage dealers. You know, that Phobius could end up being a big problem. But look at the conceal play, locking on to Violet here. Violet going to be in a little bit of trouble, locked in by the implosion and taken off. Sakoshi goes down. They keep on getting those ganks into the boss side. Net Angels needs to find the answer to it. Team Falcons Vega just out-rotating.
Yeah, at this point, Sakoshi really needs to think about just being a little bit safer here because, again, even though she's not a marksman, you have this mentality as an EXP laner. You want to go for the trades, but it looks like Team Falcons Vega, they don't care if you're Ruby. They still see you as a marksman, and they're coming for you. But to be fair, comparing Ruby to maybe something like a Beatrix, you don't mind going 0, 3, and 3. She still has her War Axe during the fights. She's still very much usable. She has a lot of ways to deal damage, not through just pure damage, but sometimes even with just the crowd control, it helps out a lot.
Very much. Now with third turtle up and Vanilla up in the top lane, Net Angels going to have to just give up this turtle. Up on the top side, though, Vanilla might be in a little bit of trouble. Final Slash able to connect. Simon's Force drops, and there goes the damage. Enhanced Change able to help him get away. Helene comes in with a penalty zone, but Melee doesn't want to let anyone escape freely. Shadow Kill does go off. Ku able to flicker away. Implosion locks on. The Demonic Force locks on as well. Coming down. Bang, bang, bang. Looking for more targets, but gets the shutdown. That's 2 for 1. Cassie doing everything she can right now, but it's still not enough.
Can we talk about how fast Team Falcons Vega is moving around the map? They do look like Falcons, just going here, going there, finding these pickoffs, and is making that Net Angels. I was saying they're pretty tanky, but 1v3, when you're not moving, when all this crowd control is on you, looks like nothing much can be done. Looking at items here, looking like Terizla is going for the more tankier route, not going for that War Axe early. Kind of feel like he should have gone for that so that they have a little bit more damage in this kind of composition, because even the Phobius, the Clock of Destiny is the only magic item. Afterwards is going for that Dominance Eye. So yeah, the damage looks like it's going to only come from Vanilla unless they go for a War Axe soon.
Yeah, Vanilla, I mean, the gold deficit's starting to get there. Same thing on the rest of the map. It's 5,000 for Team Falcons Vega. Cassie did pick up Clock of Destiny, picks up half of the Dominance Ice, so there's some possibilities there, but I think at this point, Net Angels might just need to start grouping up a bit more. We're seeing Vanilla kind of run these off lanes, trying to macro a little bit, but it's not going to be enough, and kind of like what we saw in the last series, even though it didn't work well from Xeno Lilies, you might just need to bide yourself a little time and look for that 5v5. I think their composition will work much better if everyone's together.
Yeah, Trix, my friend, do you agree that for today, it looks like one of the major problems looking at most drafts is that they don't have enough damage, right?
And it's an aggressive meta right now.
It is an aggressive meta. And it looks like Team Falcons Vega, they're actually pulling around Net Angels because they're showing Hayabusa up top. It's like, hey, I'm here. You guys want to group up? You guys want to take me out? And then Chincha just starts getting turrets everywhere. So Team Falcons Vega, they're pulling Net Angels around. It looks like Net Angels are the one getting netted.
Yeah, they're the ones definitely getting controlled right now, being a bit more reactionary to just what Team Falcons Vega want them to do. And now with the Lord up, Team Falcons Vega with a strong box controlling this pit. So the Echo does come out, so nice vision over to Net Angels. Maybe they can get a position on this Lord.
I feel like they got to go for the pickoff as well, because if they try to fight for this Lord, Thal has a flicker, right? If the Tigreal has a flicker, it can go lights out very, very fast. So Net Angels, they got to take this calculatively. Like, they have to prepare to sacrifice one. Who's going to be the one sacrificed?
I don't know, but right now, Cassie tries to come in, but look at the damage coming out. Lang able to take out Funi Meilane, finds Sikoshi. Cassie still on the chase with an Onyx Force, but it does not lock in. The Meteor does miss, but now Thal might be in a little bit of trouble. Echo comes out, look for one more shot. Helene trying to lock on to Cassie, gets the final blow. Vanilla now drops to Zmon's Force does drop out from Chincha. Violet now up against Cassie. Chincha there as well, trying to help out. Cassie just wants to get away. Ku trying to give a little bit of slowdown, a little bit of help, a little bit of peel. Cassie able to just get away. Lord still up. They're battling so far apart. It's 2v2s all across the map. Yeah. It's not a big 5v5. They split up and they attack.
Yeah, they just have partners, and like, okay, you do that, I do here. The problem is Team Falcons Vega, now the Hive has a Holy Crystal, so good luck tanking that much damage. The Lord is being danced around. Meilane, you gotta do this. Meilane, Vanilla, it's on you guys.
Meilane does get locked up and taken out. Vanilla able to get the Lord and multiple kills. Ku takes him out as well. Cassie with a kill for herself. It's a three-man wipe and a Lord over to Net Angels. They need to translate this into as much as they can, but look at the beautiful implosion. Chincha drops from Zmon's Force. Cassie down. Chincha, Thal, save the day, but still, Net Angels not done just yet. They lost Cassie, but four members still standing. They take the inhibitor. They move forward, and the Lord still coming up the top side. Team Falcons Vega push back into the base. Another tower drops. Sikoshi able to take it. Net Angels not slowing down.
Dude, this draft here, again, having a lot of fighters, having one goal in mind, having the mindset of, I'm going to attack you as much as I can, and you're going to be the one to go down first. Vanilla now having the Holy Crystal, it's going to deal holy damage, because even Lane, the fact that Lane during that Lord fight got the War Axe. We got to talk about that the timing there. Getting the War Axe so that you can stack and then start having more damage and more sustainability makes it so that Net Angels can actually deal enough damage against Team Falcons Vega. Cassie, honestly, throughout this game, is slowing down the tempo, right? Cassie, before that, Violet
Maybe a little too deep. Demonic Force does get procced, maybe a little bit too early. Thal able to come in. Cassie looking for more targets. Penalty zone locks onto Violet, locks onto Thal, and Vanilla cleans up the pieces. Demonic Force still going. It must feel like an eternity at this point. Falcons Vega push back to the base. All there's left is inhibitors.
Let me just say, Vanilla is playing so well, using this Julian as the main damage dealer for the team. Everyone else is just distractions, right? They're making sure that Team Falcons Vega doesn't get away, just so that Vanilla is able to use the enhanced scythe without getting punished. But still, with that being said, still able to hold on to that enhanced sword, just in case if those crowd control doesn't actually hit on the right targets.
And Meilane, you know, what we saw in that last big Lord fight, right? This has been kind of the answer to a lot of Hayabusas. You wait for the quad shadow to proc, and then right when the Hayabusa comes in, if you can just catch him for that split second, it's GG's. We saw it happen to Nicolette a whole lot. She was having problems every time she'd quad shadow in before she could even hit the shadow kill, because the deal is normally you want to get the shurikens off and then shadow kill, but if you're able to stop Meilane for just a second, you can get enough damage to get the kill.
Oh, look at Meilane now. probably going to be able to run away because the quad shadow is still there. Looking at the itemization here. Radiant armor on lane, making sure that you can actually survive going up against Chincha as well as Funi, as well as having that Queen's Wings, make it so that you can stay in the fight for a very, very long time. Looking at the itemization coming in from Net Angels, it's really about sustaining. We see Oracles, we see Queen's Wings, making it so that you're able to outplay Team Falcons Vega when your HP is super low.
Most definitely. Now Lord up. Does Net Angels have the advantage on this Lord at this point? It has the game completely turned into their hands.
As an assassin, it's going to be hard for you to really contest for the Lord just because you can't tank the damage that the Lord deals. And Net Angels, we got to remember that War Axe has a stack. They can hold on to their stack for a very, very long time. So they actually do quite a lot of damage at this point during the Lord dance.
Very fair. And another person that we've kind of failed to mention, but Vanill's been doing great. But look at Ku, 2-0-7. We're 15 minutes in. Those meteors are going to start hurting a lot more. The vision also getting applied gives Net Angels this great advantage when it comes to especially objectives like this. Thal, though, looking for the play, looking for the lock-in.
Yeah, again, just be careful of Thal. Having that flicker, you kind of don't want to risk this. And now we see the concealed play being used, and then you reset the Lord. So that's one thing out of the way. Now you got to force the flicker out, and then Net Angels have a good time going for this. Oh, but Maylene finds Vanilla. Vanilla able to get out of there.
Yeah, Funi also takes a bit of damage, though. Now we're back to the tango, man. We're back to the dance.
Again, I feel like it's fine for Net Angels here. They can heal up, so it's all good. And they kind of have to do that because it's all about the trigger finger. Who's going to go first? Is it going to be Thal or is it going to be Net Angels here?
Yeah. Helene also, I mean, it's got to be tempting when you see them all grouped in that jungle to pop the penalty zone, but the patience coming from Helene right now is going to be crucial. Same thing from Violet, looking for the final slash. But here comes the shadow kill onto Cuckoo, able to get away though using the flicker, and that is going to be a utility down. Helene able to lock on to Thal. Here comes the demonic force. Trigger has been pulled. Can they get the final blow though? Can they find the kill? Down in the mid lane though. Chincha getting the push in. Gonna move on to the tower as well. Ku trying to go back. Vanilla doesn't want to stop as well. Thal taking damage. Thal goes down, but Chincha's on the base. Chincha's on the base, and Ku can't defend. Team Falcons Vega with a cheeky mid lane steal. Not like this.
There was 2 towers. There's the tier 2. There's the base towers, and then she went and ended in one wave. Not like this, man.
Damn you, Chincha.
Dude, this is...
That's what Leo would say.
Maybe this is the answer. You want a Lord dance? I'll just end the game. There's 2.
That's always the answer.
There's 2 towers. If the base turret was not there, I get it. The tier 2 was there. The base... Chincha, man.
The timing, it was almost like it wasn't improvised either. It was almost like it was playing like, because once the trigger was pulled, that's when Chincha went. And because they were so invested in that fight, there was, I mean, Ku could go back, but...
It's like you say, Udala and Ajasi.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right? You understood, right? Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah, with that being said, now we're going to throw it over to Mirko and Eterna. What do you think about that ending?
That was iconic Chinchao play. That was iconic Chinchao play, man. You give her the Claude, you give her the Roger. She's never actually done it on a Harris before.
Nope.
But you know, it's the first time for everything.
Oh my goodness. What an amazing decision to make there in that position. Because seriously, all right, let's talk about the replays first. We're getting ahead of ourselves, right? Because there were a lot of great skirmishes back and forth from Team Falcons Vega, also from Team Net Angels, and this was one of the big fights that obviously Net Angels kind of miscalculated in. And this happened a lot in the early game where whenever they kept on going for the fights, it would be Team Falcons Vega winning it out. But this was the big blunder from Team Falcons Vega. Already losing Violet, still holding onto the Lord for some reason, and then committing onto it, not letting it reset, forcing a response from Net Angels. But at that point, Net Angels are very okay with the responses that they can make. They can just be like, all right, you want to fight? We can fight. And again, a lot of the fights here, it just feels like for Falcons Vega, they're very amazing mechanically, right? But when it comes to a lot of the baiting out, the feinting, that's when they get beat out. Because in that particular moment, in the bottom side of the map as well, they wanted to bait out the demonic force. They baited out, But then they were kind of confused. They were like, wait, do we continue fighting when the demonic force is up, or do we just back away? Because the real answer would have been 100% back away, wait a bit, and then jump back in. With no demonic force, Funi saving her own IMU demonic force would have been so much more value to actually go for the fight after those cooldowns and those frames have been already used up.
But what did you think about the possibility of that split push from Jin Chao? Was that a miscalculation on Net Angels' part? What went wrong for them there?
I think for me, I'm definitely, I'll be waiting for the telestrator later on to really draw things. But even while we were watching that, we were talking about, I was mentioning, Hayabusa should be the one going bot, not the Harith. Harith, yeah, I mean, throughout the game, by the way, let's talk a little bit about how they have set up and how they made that decision. Because throughout the game, it was the Ruby in the gold lane who can't really stay in the gold lane, always want to look for fights.
And it makes sense, right? So let's crown our PlayStation MVP right now. And I mean, everybody was like high-fiving, hugging Jin Chao. So, is it Jin Chao? Ladies and gentlemen, let's have a look. Okay, there you go. Team Falcons Vega, Jin Chao on the Harith, on her signature Harith, pulling her signature iconic move. I think at this point, right, a lot of the teams, a lot of the players out there should just be very...